2022 has been such a strange year for video games because we're now about 16 months into the lifespan of the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, but things have been incredibly one-sided for this entire year. Like, consider the fact that Sony is just releasing banger after banger: Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, we're about to get the Last of Us remake, there's Stray, and now, of course, God of War Ragnarok. But something about Ragnarok specifically has seemed to stir up the Xbox fanboys. I have seen complete Microsoft cultists, hundreds and hundreds of tweets making up the most outlandish conspiracy theories or claiming the game looks like absolute garbage. And I want to dig through some very absurd, mean tweets today because honestly, they're pretty hilarious. What's up, gamers? Dreamcast Guy here. Hope you're having a very good day. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's begin with the objective fact that most normies are very, very excited for the idea of God of War Ragnarok. As you can see here, I have a tweet by Benji Sales. He has combined a bunch of the analytical data that shows that the newest announcement for God of War Ragnarok, just its release date, has literally millions and millions of likes and engagement and views. People are excited for the game itself. Now, I do think that for the most part, people either want to play this game or they're willing to just watch this game. I think that some people who only play on Xbox, they're probably just saying, you guys have fun, we'll have our games next year. In fact, here's one. Colt Eastwood, still one of my very favorite Xbox-focused YouTubers. This guy pretty much only does Xbox videos, and he says this: 2022, and I'm frustrated by the lack of major first-party games. I'm glad that Xbox studios have chosen to delay games instead of rushing them like Halo Infinite. Still lots of great games coming to 2022 and Xbox. This is a completely reasonable take. I think that most people, even if they only own an Xbox, are realizing, okay, there's still stuff to play. But others have completely lost their minds. Okay, so it's difficult not to mock these people more, but you're going to see a lot of terms like Sony Pony, and it's difficult not to just completely laugh at these weirdos. Oh man, so the ponies are bragging about a CGI trailer for God of War Ragnarok. I thought y'all hated CGI trailers, especially when Microsoft and Xbox do it. Like, people like this, there is going to be a lot of ridiculous nitpicking, but some of these are just ridiculous. Like right here, here's the only snippet of God of War Ragnarok gameplay. It's unedited. Look at this. LOL. It looks just like the first game. Crying emoji, crying emoji. God of War Ragnarok is overpriced, glorified DLC. Clown emoji, clown emoji, clown emoji. You ponies are getting scammed hard. My favorite thing about a lot of these weirdo Xbox fanboys is honestly that they all have like Master Chief icons. Look, I love Master Chief. I've read 20 of the Halo books, but there's something about this is so uniquely pathetic, and I have to freaking laugh at it. I love the way that they just put so many of these emojis in their tweets. Here's one: Joe Schmo. Like, look, I'm super excited that freaking God of War Ragnarok looks so good. And this guy replies, it looks exactly like God of War 2018. There's no real improvements or reimagining. They literally said it was DLC, but it got too big. Crying emoji. Like, look, Joe Schmo, I hate to keep doing the crying voice, but this dude definitely seems
long live enjoying.
like he's like, they literally said it was DLC. Look, buddy, the only thing that's too big is when I destroy your mother with my... Anyways, so you can see here, a lot of people making fun of this guy. Joe Schmo, people are like, he put the crying emoji, the total package. You got a source for that claim? The source is that I made it the F up. I'm laughing about these people. Lots and lots and lots of reaching. Here is definitely, I'll admit it, this is the tweet that originally inspired it. If you don't know this guy, Xbox University. Xbox University is a Xbox cultist. You know what? Do whatever you want in your free time. This guy goes into Twitter Spaces, which are like these group chats, and pretty much 15 hours a day, this guy just claims that Xbox is the God King and that Phil Spencer is going to finally be his real dad. I have no idea. But anyways, this dude absolutely hates Sony with a fiery passion. Now, I saw this tweet here. After I finish God of War Ragnarok in record time over the course of a single weekend, then I'll turn my attention to the game that'll keep us engaged for a decade. Hashtag Starfield. Now, I had to say this. Dudes out here already bragging about how they want to rush through God of War Ragnarok. Freaks out here. Now, this is just absurd to me because, look, honestly, I do think, let's just face facts. In one way, he is correct. I do think that God of War Ragnarok is probably going to be about 20 hours, 25 hours, something like that. To me, that's a pretty good length. I'm somebody that tries to platinum games, so I'll probably spend maybe 50 hours on it, going through it multiple times, trying out the harder difficulties, finding other collectibles. So objectively, I do think that myself, I'll probably end up spending more time with Starfield because hypothetically it is a big Bethesda RPG. I usually put a couple hundred hours in it, but this already, like, bragging about rushing through it. I'm going to beat it in a single weekend. Xbox, right here, bud, you sound like the kind of guy who plays games on easy and then brags about beating games on easy. So have fun rushing straight through that game. Now, here's the interesting one that really kind of caught my eye as well. Frosk, obviously the extremely controversial G4 host, she has made a lot of statements that have sort of confused people. She has claimed that Microsoft is winning the console wars and that Sony is, literal quote, Sony is dead in the water. Or sorry, she said PlayStation is dead man walking. So you're going to see a lot of people replying dead man walking in the replies here, making fun of her. So she says this. I feel like God of War on a November release date is because they want to hit that holiday quarter and maybe not because that's a reasonable launch date. Hope there's no crunch and everything is going according to plan. She's just straight up making up conspiracy theories, just claiming out of thin air with absolutely no evidence that they're somehow abusing their employees to get this game done. Very bizarre. So Cory Balrog, the guy who's actually working on the game, says, I feel like we thought a lot about what date is best and chose the best date for the team, the game, and the fans. Look at this. Absolute dunk. She had 800 likes, 7,000. I'm going to like that too. Look at that. Corey Balrog dropping truth bombs. Now, a lot of people saying the game was delayed twice. It's crazy how she speaks so much on things she doesn't know what she's talking about. Look at that. After her Xbox will smoke PlayStation in 2022 comment, I stopped taking anything she said seriously. It's my good buddy Brap. Now, I think this is the most interesting reply, which is by Ryan McCaffrey. Some people consider this guy to be much more of an Xbox shill. He definitely prefers Xbox. Nothing wrong with that. I prefer PlayStation, but I own all consoles. I play all exclusives. And he's saying right here, when has Sony ever shoved something out to make a specific quarter? They've never been the kind of publisher. Heck, more of their big tentpole releases have come out quarter one and quarter two than the big almighty quarter four when you look across their entire first party portfolio. Look at this truth bomb. He's literally saying Sony does.
CGI. It's a term I'm willing to bet you've heard before, because it's everywhere. This word.
I just had my hair blown out into a bouffant. I just had my hair.
If we get married and you live longer than me, I want.
Buenos dias, oh, RGT85 here. We have quite a bit of video game news to talk about today, so we're just gonna Buenos dias, all RGT85 here. We have quite a bit of video game news to talk about today, so we're just going to jump straight into it. If you enjoy video game related content, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share, hit the bell notification as well. But without any further ado, let's jump into what's happening in the world of video games, and we're starting things off with the new RoboCop game. Now, if you grew up in the 80s or 90s, you are very familiar with RoboCop. Like, it was kind of like a pseudo superhero thing, half man, half machine. Of course, they did a reboot of the movie, which wasn't really that bad. I thought the reboot was okay. So if you're a younger kid who was born in like the 2000s or something, you might know RoboCop. Regardless, get off my lawn, get a haircut, and turn down your damn music. I'm not playing with you kids, bruh. But anyways, RoboCop has never really had great video games. The arcade games are pretty fun. RoboCop versus Terminator on the Sega Genesis was really awesome, but it wasn't really based on the RoboCop movies. It was more of just based on the comic book stuff. RoboCop came out on the Xbox with a game from Titus that was horrible. It's literally one of the worst video games I've ever played. It's just so bad. But now RoboCop is back, boys and girls. RoboCop is back. The original actor from the RoboCop movies is reprising his role, which is awesome because that's what a lot of us, 80s and 90s kids think of when we think of RoboCop. And the game looks pretty good, honestly. It's supposed to come out next summer. It's coming out on all platforms, and I think they really nailed sort of the aesthetic that RoboCop is trying to convey. This dystopian future, a rundown city that's being taken over by rich people who are essentially controlling the city instead of letting the city, live on its own. And, there's arguments happening and stuff. And obviously there's a lot of turmoil, a lot of crime, and RoboCop is coming in there to clean up that crime. I am interested in seeing just how like RoboCop-ish RoboCop gets in this game because of just how like the world is nowadays and stuff like that. Don't want to offend anyone, even though it's a piece of fiction. Like, get over yourself. Not everything is detailed and directed at you. If you feel guilty about it, maybe you're just a guilty person. And, it's weird for me because I had so many negative interactions growing up with police officers and, up until, basically my early 30s, I guess I would say. So it's something that you wouldn't think would resonate with me, but like RoboCop was just badass and a really cool character. So I'm super interested in checking out this game. I do hope that the game ends up being good, you know, at least better. You can't really be worse than the RoboCop game on the Xbox. Like, that thing sucked. Maybe I'll make a video on that one day. Like, not enough people talk about just how damn bad that game is. It is terrible. It is a disgrace to the RoboCop name, but maybe this game can help revive the franchise that only old people like me give a shit about. Are you interested in playing the new RoboCop game? Because you should be. Let me know what you think of it in the comments section down below. Next up, the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack was at an interesting crossroads, because after Pokemon Snap released for it on the N64 side of things, we didn't know about any other games. We all kind of assumed that, oh, well, when Nintendo does their June Direct, we'll probably learn about stuff. And I mean, they kind of did a June Direct. It just didn't have anything to do with them. You got third-party games. You got Xenoblade, you know, that's sort of involving them. But yeah, beyond that, like, you didn't really learn about anything that Nintendo was actually doing. So many people were wondering, well, when the hell are we going to get an update for the N64 side of things? What other games are going to be coming? Well, we got our first game that's coming out. It's coming out next week in this new batch of N64 games. It comes out on July 15th, and it's Pokemon Puzzle League. Okay. I'm gonna be real. I don't know anything about this game. I see that it's a match-style puzzle game based on the trailer. It looks kind of cool, I guess, but I don't know. This game, to me, just kind of falls flat, because I feel like this is a game that relies heavily on nostalgia, kind of like RoboCop. But at least with the RoboCop stuff, like, you can look at that game and be like, oh, okay, that looks cool. If you don't really have nostalgia for this game, it doesn't really hit home. And the fact that this is the only N64 game that we're getting for the month, it's kind of like, well, that's kind of a bit of a disappointment. Like, I would have liked to have seen Wave Race or something like that. You know, a game that has some online multiplayer. Obviously, there will be some online multiplayer with the matching, but it's like, we got Dr. Mario. Do we really need this game? And really, some of the questions that arise from this are the fact that Japan is getting custom Robo games. Now, these games were never translated and brought over stateside. I don't think they were. I'm 99% sure that they weren't. I'm pretty sure that custom Robo finally hit Nintendo consoles with the GameCube as far as stateside is concerned. I could be wrong on that, but they're getting custom Robo games. That's kind of like, well, that seems a hell of a lot cooler than another match puzzle game that, yeah, you sprinkled Pokemon on it. Like, I guess you're trying to make that dish a little bit spicier with the Pokemans, but hey, you know, people would have liked to have checked this out. Now, like I said, those games were never officially translated, to my knowledge. I just don't think there was a custom Robo stateside on the N64. I could be wrong with that. But yeah, so, I don't know. To me, it's kind of a disappointment. I understand that not everything is catered directly to me, like we just talked about a second ago, but I do feel like they should have had a bigger splash. And, you know, like a game like Wave Race, it's the summertime. People are out there on jet skis and stuff like that. People are out there, you know, enjoying the beach, enjoying the sun. At least that's what I hear. I don't know, the sun, my fair skin, I ain't getting burned. Turn into a freaking lobster. I'm like a lobster man. You want to fuck around with a lobster man? I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so. So yeah, Pokemon Puzzle League. Are you excited for this game? Should I be excited for this game? Because like I said, I don't know anything about it. This could be like the Sonic Spinball of you know, games for Sonic the Hedgehog. This could be like a cult classic with Pokemon fans. Let me know what you think of it in the comments section down below. I mean, I might end up checking it out anyways, because hey, it's there to play, it's there to see, but personally, I'm a little disappointed. You do better, Nintendo. You know, if you're gonna do a freaking puzzle game, at least have something to complement it. Okay, have another game. You could do more than one game at a time on your service. I swear, you could release more than one game at a time. Look at the Sega Genesis stuff. It's running a little bit smoother. It's running a little bit better. And finally, the rumor mill is heating up about Nintendo doing new hardware, and then They just jizzed on a Nintendo Switch and made it a Splatoon 3 system. A little jizz patch on the dock of the system. But hey, you know what? I do
What happens when performance meets power?
like variants of systems. I do think that they're cool. So it's a good thing, but at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, I was hoping for something that was actually, you know, a little bit different, you know, something that was a little bit more powerful. It's something that's been heavily rumored, and there's been lots of traces of information that have come along that show Nintendo is indeed doing something. We've covered pretty much all of those traces of information, but now we have yet more information. It's kind of based on a recent patent that we've talked about a couple months ago on the channel, but now it's been revised. It's been going through the legal channels in order to get to where it needs to get to so that Nintendo can actually have this patent fully and then utilize it potentially with something. And this does indeed involve the Nintendo Switch and upscaling, which is something that a lot of us want. I mean, you know, you played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 at like sub 360 images in handheld mode. Hopefully Xenoblade Chronicles 3 isn't like that, because that would kind of suck. We need something to actually upscale these images to make them look better, to make them look crisper, to make it look, you know, just like a better, proper game. So here's the information, because we're looking at a patent now. All right, so as you can see here, we have a very, very long patent. We will be reading every piece of information on this because watch time is very important. We need watch time on the channel. YouTube likes when people watch a video for a long time. So we're going over every bit of this information. The block diagram that includes an example computer system according to certain example embodies. Okay, we're not reading this whole thing. But basically, long story short, this is the same patent that we've been talking about with Nintendo as far as some upscaling technology, systems and method for machine learning image conversion. A computer system is provided for converting images through use of a trained neural network. A source image is divided into blocks, and context data is added to each pixel block. The context blocks are split into channels, and each channel from the same context block is added to the same activation matrix. Neo. The action matrix is then executed against a trained neural network to produce a changed activation matrix. The changed activation matrix is then used to generate a converted image. So what the hell does this all mean? It's basically upscaling. You could see the timeline of how long they've been working on this, and you know, when it was initially published, which I believe is when we talked about it back in the day. But there's been new stuff added to it as far as the update is concerned. As you can see, this is for the United States patent, and it was done on July 5th of 2020.
When you are at your weakest,
And fear and doubt are a burden too heavy to bear.
If 2020 was a slide,
you're shocked. It is incredible how the entire sport.
Got him. Yo, that is a proper guard right here. Yo, please get that guy. I'm not leaving. I post! He did it! He did it! Who's this? Who's this? Oh, you are. I am. Oh, man. What a good guy. He came from behind. I was not watching that. I'll take that, though. He done did it. He came from behind. Team. I'm so bad. I got one successful guard, and... Dude, what? Please get that guy. Thank you. 3 in jail, man. Okay, I need to get eyes on them. I don't have eyes on them. Okay, can you please get that guy out of here? Okay, there's one behind you, Blue Eyes. Look around. Read the room, kid. Gonna get the drop. Oh, no, I'm not leaving my post. Sorry. I'm not gonna do it. There's only 3 of them here, guys. Go do something. Oh, do it. Yeah, that's fine. Oh my gosh, that's fine. They so got me while I'm freaking out. Okay, so that's 2 faults on my end. They only need 1 more candy. They got it, dude. Oh my gosh, man. Okay, so I had, I think, 2 catches right around key. I had 2 catches right around key, and I didn't see 2 of them sneak up behind me. That's the hard part. Interesting. All right, so we got 6 people on a team. What if we did this? And I wish I had full control over this. 2 people on button, 2 people on left, and 2 people on right. And that's it, right? Because if I'm over here, I could watch anyone coming upwards on the ramps, but then I can't see anyone coming from behind me. So if I had someone else watching my back, we can get 2 people on button and no one can touch it. Which is smart, right? Because if we have 6 people on a team, that only makes sense, right? You split everyone up. 2 in the middle, 2 in the sides. I think that's smart. Let's see. I don't have control over who's playing with me, so I need some more experience on this. All right, come on, let's go. I gotta do it. It's not hard. Okay, here we go. Okay.